There we go. Greetings, everyone. BJ Weller back with you. Finally and again, we're able to stream. So we're going to actually be doing lots of streaming today. Hopefully, fingers crossed that the youngin and the weather cooperate. We've got ourselves a nor'easter blowing on through today. So, hopefully, it's not going to be too bad. We can get all the streams in that we want to get in so we can get back to our videogra thing or something to that effect. Because we got a lot of games to play, not the least of which is right here, Stronghold Kingdoms. Island Warfare, day 355. Just a quick little episode here for Island Warfare, just to get caught up on things since, again, I haven't really been able to stream for the last week or so. Check out reports, check out the status, of course, of the map, which hasn't really changed all that much. What we got here? Oh, yes, because House 11. So we mentioned last episode, our former house at war now with my current house's allies, House 17. Still at this point in time, House 12 hasn't officially entered the fray. As far as I know, we're still remaining somewhat neutral. As for the most part, House 17 can pretty much hold their own. But again, that works out for me because obviously, House 11 being my former house, with all the intentions of at some point returning to House 11 before this incident broke out. Once, obviously, as I have mentioned in previous episodes, once I can finally get the loyalty achievement completed here. Still a few weeks away yet, so it's going to be some time. Which is actually, I think, at this point a good thing because of the war. Hopefully we get a few weeks for things to shake out, things go back to a somewhat peaceful scenario between the houses. And we won't have an issue returning to our new old faction, which is a part of House 11. But again, we just have to see how things play out. We're still hanging in here. So yeah, it's been well over a month, at least a month at this point. Since we accepted the applications here, so this is a good little glitch, I think, as I mentioned last episode, to take advantage of, if at all possible. Of course, you have to have players who have had an application into your faction before, of course, they left the server, and still have those applications active. But we'll see how things go. And if push comes to shove, we do have one or two other friends from other worlds who can pop on and level up real quick and get into the faction in order for us to maintain house membership, which offers, again, house memberships offer a little bit, but of course it all depends on wars and stuff like that, but on the face of it, house memberships offer some protection in that you are not a neutral parish, say like this, and open to attack from anyone and everyone on the entire map. So in the meantime, let's see where we're at with that. Glory race. Oh, House 17 has regained. I think House 11 was leading at one point. If not, it was a lot closer than this. I mean, really neck and neck at this point. But still fairly close. Glory race, so the last glory round was 33 days ago. So well over a month. And let's see what we got here. Parish attacks wolf flare. Minimal wolf flare here. Minimal Aishe. Oop. Easy peasy, as most of them have been here in Leppu. Speaking of which, I think we need some votes going on here. Let's vote for yourself. Thank you. We need to regain troops lost there. Okay. Nothing else we need to worry about here. It's all built in. Do we have... No, we don't have... So we may... working, I think, to level this up a bit here. Fortunately, again, you know, my... I have been... This is what I've been throwing in here to beef up our... parish archers hit points a bit. Trying to anyway. Barthios. Slowly but surely. Again, this is where, you know, I'm going to have to start leveling up more and more, even if I can't stream. Okay, good. We got our meat coming back in there. Bit of an issue where I had consumption in Bylane. Oh, that's not what we want. Higher than our production for meat, anyway. So let's get back into Bylane here. So weather, I think weather is, yeah, just average here, overcast. So neither good nor bad. We just got the pig's castle here. We're good at everything else. Keep consumption as low as possible now. That way we can recover what we donate quickly and ideally donate more over a shorter period of time. Of course, that means I have to log in a bit more in order to do that. This week hasn't been good for that either. Plus, of course, dividing my time between all sorts of other worlds and, of course, other games as well. Doesn't help the situation, but hey, when you're a gamer, you got to do what you got to do here. Alright, so we're good there. Consumption should be good here. So we actually have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're good there. So Bylane, the problem house here. Now we should have enough here now. 11, 13, and 14. So what do we got here? 44 peasants. So 44 peasants. Bring our calculator in here. 44 peasants consuming 300 units of food per day. Means each peasant is consuming 13,200 units of food per day. Just at normal rations. So we divide that divide that among our 3 different food types. So they are consuming 4,400 units of each food type per day. So now we go here. We're doubled up, so I did lower that. So at double rations, they are consuming, of course, 8,800. At triple rations, of course, it is back to 13,200 per food type. So 13,200 units food type. So our production for each food type needs to be 13,200 at minimum to be a wash. So anything over 13,200 means we will have our surplus, which we can use to donate and that type of good stuff. So obviously we have our surplus there. Barely a surplus there, so we essentially have a surplus of 400 and it was 13,000 484 per day cheese we will be gaining at triple rations. And here now we're actually still short, so we're still 2,000, just shy of 2,000 short for a pig farm to go triple rations. Obviously, with only consuming 8,800 per food type now, we obviously have quite a bit over. So I do need to throw down one more pig farm here. And what did I say? How short are we? Exactly, so I know what to look at here. There it is. Let's do this. So we need 13,200. So let's take a calculator out here so I can see exactly what I need. So 13,200 minus 11,344. So we need 1,856 more production just to break even. That would just be breaking even at the triple rations. So let's take a look here. So we might actually need 2 pig farms, because I don't think we're at this point we have a place where we can throw this down to get 1,800. 1,700 might be our best. So therein can come in. Yeah, it's all 1,600 here, 1,500, 14, 15, 16. Of course, here we're getting into the iron deposits a bit here, so that would limit our ability to efficiently place iron mines. But 1705 looks like 1707 is the best we're going to get. So it doesn't matter. We'd still be 150 odd shy here. So we would still need 2 pig farms. So we're going to throw one down now anyway. So what we're going to end up doing is we'll throw it down here. So basically 60 difference of 60 there, 60 fewer. Which again at this point doesn't really matter. 1647, I think 1651 is the best there. So about what was that, 56 fewer. So so that'll at least still maintain pig productivity. But what we're going to have to look into then is either bumping up our farming here. Increased meat and cheese productivity. Right now I think we have 10% productivity. It's 510. So the next level we raise up, so we're only gaining an extra 5%. Don't think that's going to be quite enough. Or what we can do, of course, is come on in here and throw down the Pig Farmers Guild here, which we have not yet placed. We've placed the Orchard Workers Guild and the Dairy Farmers Guild. They are currently max level. We have not yet placed the Pig Farmers Guild. Now, the one dangerous thing, of course, about the parish buildings here is that after this first age change, we are still in age 1 here. We'll be for quite some time. But when it comes time to switch or transfer, promote, move up, whatever it is, when it comes time to implement age 2 on the world, all this stuff and all our bonuses get wiped out. Again, parish buildings offer production bonuses, pretty much the same as your individual research does. And of course, you increase the bonuses by making the donations. You increase those bonuses. And specific to age 1 is that once you max out a building, each building has a top level. Like the guilds here, the production guilds are level 8, I believe, is the top level they can reach for age 1. You can delete them and still maintain the bonus. So once we max out the Fletcher's Guild, which would give us level 8, gives us 100% 10% bonus, I can delete this building once it's maxed out, and we would still maintain that 110% bonus, even without the guild physically being in the parish village here. That only works on age 1, though. From age 2 on forwards, age 2, age 3, age 4, age 5, age 6, and age 7, aka the final age. I believe it's 7 ages. You delete the buildings and you lose that bonus. So from age 2 on forwards, any building you place, if you want a certain bonus, or again, sort of like the Architect's Guild, which allows us to, which opens up and allows us to build the structure, the defensive structures and stuff in here. All that stuff has to stay in the parish in order for the bonus or whatever that particular building unlocks to stay available. Hence why between age 1 and age 2, everything gets wiped out. All the stuff gets wiped out. All the bonuses get wiped out. Age 1 is sort of the tutorial, the training age of Stronghold Kingdoms. So, you know, it gives you a little bit more leeway for stuff to see what it does, you know, practice building placement, that kind of stuff. In age 2 on forwards, we have to keep those buildings in there, so you have to be, I have to have a very specific goal in mind with what you want to accomplish with your parish and what buildings you want to throw down here. So, long story long, that means once the age changes over, we will lose all these production bonuses. We will go back to the basics. So like I said, we already have, where are we here? Our apples and cheese working at max or at a bonus of 110% productivity in each of our villages. So this number here has a 110% boost from the parish. So once that 110% boost goes away, this number is going to shrink dramatically. And just from the looks of both of these, obviously, if we lose 100% productivity, this is going to drop way below 13,000. This is going to drop below 13,000. So we're going to end up not being able to offer triple rations at that point. So that's why the guild buildings are nice to have. And they do help in that you don't have to research, spend as much research, say in farming, or build as many structures, which of course require additional peasants, which use consume additional resources. I don't have to build that much while you have those bonuses active, but you have to be very aware of when the age is going to end and you lose those bonuses, because you have to prepare and make sure then you either have the research going, or you have enough peasants to cover building additional things to maintain whatever level you're currently at, if you so desire. Of course, if you can manage without that bonus, that's fine, but more often than not, you have to have that bonus. You have to have a certain level of productivity in order to offset things like weather, AI castles, and that kind of stuff. So we have to be very careful. So whereas we can throw down the Pig Farmers Guild, start leveling that up, and eventually increase it to the point to where I do not need to build another pig farm, I can just let the guild bonus cover that productivity and the need to and the amount that we actually need will be fine. But again, I have to be very aware and be prepared to make that up somehow once we start age 2 here on the world. And so, of course, for that, more than likely, it will be at some point I'm going to start researching plow and animal husbandry, because that gives us small incremental bonuses to all of our consumable productivity. Meat and cheese here with animal husbandry, so that's the pig farm and the dairy farm there. Plow takes care of everything else. It takes care of the hops, which translates into our ale, the wheat, vegetable, and apple farms as well. So in the meantime, however, we do want to rank up here. Ooh, we're going to become a Knigget. And rank up to Knight, which will allow us now to begin raising, i.e. completely destroying other villages if we so desire. Of course, it'll also open us up a little bit more to possibly being attacked as well. But fortunately, our House 11 mates do know I am an ally, even though I am in a sort of enemy type house. Not a specific enemy, but a potentially enemy house. And well, we'll see from there. We'll go anyway. So I will rank up. What I do want to do is make sure I have my research sheet here open real quick. That way I can also rank up for global conflict the same way. And we have to decide exactly what I want to be researching here. That's the key here. So we will be a now Knight, 8th rank. So obviously we can still go through, we can still actually level up through all the 8 ranks of Knight and become a Baron. Once we become a Baron, we can research and gain another village, which ultimately will be the goal here. We'll be doing, I'll end up getting, if they're available by that time, one of these charters and getting another village. And at some point I'm going to also have to research industry here and start producing honor goods. So we'll have to see how that goes. But in the meantime, we are Knight Knigget, 8th rank here on Island Warfare. Let me get the right side here. Knigget, 8th rank. And now, of course, each rank costs 100,000 honor to rank up instead of the 60,000 honor. And now we have 3 research points available. I do have to build up military too. Oh, we can max out diplomacy. We can max out castellation, which I think are going to be the 2 to go with here. Because that aids in defenses. Diplomacy aids against the AI. So that's going to be first and foremost, because we do have a siege camp here, so we will do diplomacy. And then in 5.5 hours, we'll be able to rank up castellation. So diplomacy, castellation. And then we've got one more point to decide what we're going to do with here. Always do Sally 4th, that helps in defenses. Sword we don't really need. Scouts goes beef up scouts. Add in captains, add in tactics. But let's see, industry. Tools. Banqueting, not yet. Although banqueting will help with some of the various quests I have available here. Let's take a look here at education, engineering. That, engineering might be the best option right now to help increase our storage space. And I'll making larger size donations a lot easier. Transportation, don't really need. All my villages are fairly close. Of course, all our... Oh, you know what? Eucharist. I think we might need to do Eucharist, however. Theology. Yes, Eucharist. which gives us interdictions, which allows us to prevent attacks against our village, all attacks. However, I haven't really needed that quite yet. So that might be for the next time I rank up. Throw that in there, because I need to research some more monks to save myself the cost, some gold here in recruiting monks. Let me get back here. So right here, so right now that monk's gonna cost me 120 gold, and so with more monks you have, the cheaper it is to recruit a new one, up to a maximum of 8. So yeah, we will want to do that next time. So let me make note of that. The next one is Eucharist. Then we want ordination twice, or donation. That way we can have a maximum of 4 monks available to us. We'll be halfway there. In the meantime, we will do engineering for this last point here. Engineering. So we will make sure to do that. File save. So what are we doing right now? Diplomacy. 10 points here, which is the max now. Alright, let me get rid of this song. Thank you. I'm doing this so complete 10 points in diplomacy. On island warfare, so good. We will have to keep that in mind for global conflict. We're good there. And so let's get back to where we're getting back to here. Our reports, as this short little stream isn't going to be so short after all. So I did mention last stream, curious about the ransacks the pig has been saying us, and pretty much right after that video we got ransacked by the pig. So we go, enemy arrives, enemy probes. We've got pig stopped by diplomacy, pig stopped by diplomacy, pig stopped by diplomacy. Boom. Pig attacks here. So we've actually had a few ransacks here. We did attack another wolf flare, which was slightly larger here. Some of the slightly larger small ones, because obviously, as we know from watching, if you've watched videos from my other worlds, they can get up to around 400 wolves per wolf flare or more. So it's 72, still a rather tiny guy when you're speaking within that relative fashion. I did want to see something too while I'm here. Let's go review a couple of bandit camps here we had to take down. While I do my little ditty sauce here for a minute. Sorry. Let Firefox opening in that window in game capture. Ha! There we go, thank you. Doesn't quite work with Stronghold Kingdoms. At least I haven't gotten it to work yet. I still gotta play around. Maybe I can get game capture to work at some point. But we'll see. So that one done. Nice and simple. So again, not too much of a problem. Excellent. And finally bend the last one here. Different there. Come on. Oh, come on, Firefox. That actually does anything. Excellent. Hasn't even shown up in chat there, has it? Nope. So don't know what's up with the hosting. Oh well, okay. At least I know at some point the following works, and of course the chat room for later on today when Dolph Oblivious returns to the Wretched Hive. So pig attacks here. Let's see what this one was. Defeat, just a regular pillage. So a fairly simple affair there. Excellent. So pillage we don't need to worry about. Of course, we will review that. The one thing we do want to... let me get back in here. There we go. Make sure we're all repaired up here. Barthios. Question is now, what do... Let me go back here. Is that the one beta? Sorry, yes, okay. So we just want to throw something down in here, even though we have a siege camp. Okay, so let me do... you know what, let's do this. I think that's where they're at. Yep, alright, good. We'll do this. We shall do this. Excellent, okay. Isn't that good? Right about 10 hours. That should be, well actually we'll be getting attacked fairly shortly from the siege camp. That should be good enough. Stone Quarry destroyed in Barthios. Thank you for that. So we'll wrap things up here by taking a look at these reports. Obviously, we've got a short trip off the map, so that didn't help either. So Stone Quarry was destroyed in Barthios, and then see, this was 1:14 in the afternoon. This was 1:14 in the morning. So around about 12 hours later, the pig sent out another ransack. This time against Bylane. Well, I do need to rank up my peasant hit points too, that way they last a bit longer. Fortunately, we were able to stop this one after almost 3/4 of the way through the ransack. And then on the same day, only a couple hours later, he sends another one, this time against Barthios. A 2-building ransack. So essentially, a day after he ransacked Barthios, he sends another ransack. This time to destroy 2 buildings. Which is okay, because at this point, even if it was 1 building, I just got barely, it would have been just barely halfway through a successful ransack there. So we actually stopped that with no problem. No, that's the one we just saw. And so we've had a respite of about 3 days before we decide to send against Barthios again. Another single building ransack. Virtually coming pretty much to the exact same spot again. So obviously we stopped the one previously before even 1 building potentially will be destroyed again. That'll only be successful if, completes the ransack and at least 1 troop makes it off the map alive. So you can see here, probably end up being right about the same. Probably just under 500 by the time. Actually, probably we might be. It might stop him even before it gets below 500. Yeah, so that was an even better defense there, slightly. And another 3-day respite before he sends against Barthios again. A ransack. Gotta love it. They haven't even broken through anything yet, so that's good. Yes, that's good. So they didn't even break through anything, so that was a nice one there. Very good, but nonetheless. So that's it. That's all the ransacks that have at least not been stopped by diplomacy. Again, once an attack is stopped by diplomacy, you don't actually know what kind of attack, whether it was a pillage or a ransack. It doesn't specify, just says the attack was stopped. So it's been a couple of days, so I'm sure within the next day or two we will have another ransack get through diplomacy and hit us. But that's it for that stuff. In the meantime, we're going to end it here with Sir Renault here, who is still hanging out, still managing to survive here. However, he no longer has control of the parish. House 17 has hopped into this parish here to wrest control away from him, but Sir Renault's still here, still under constant interdiction at this point. That's a lot of faith points, even in age 1, because he's been here for a couple weeks at least, as I recall. But sending out the well, yeah, more than a couple weeks, because this was 9 days ago. So probably at this point, at least 3 weeks he's been over near us. Sending out another gold raid, because he did gold raid us earlier too, which we did see on the previous video. So probably even more than 3 weeks. So So again, another just quick probing gold raid just to see how much gold I have. Again, you know, I'm not really accumulating a lot of gold at this point with re-recruiting troops. I'm spending more than I'm making in per day at this point. So gold has been dropping. But yeah, that is that, and we're good for this episode. So we're all caught up here on Island Warfare. We still got Global Conflict, USA 2 and USA 3 to get through this week. If not today. Today I got some adventure series to do on a Real Millennium Group channel, which should be, there's YouTube, Real Millennium Group channel. Should be scrolling by here shortly, but yeah, on Twitch. But yeah, we'll be catching up on some of those videos over the next couple of days. Get something in for this week, and doing catching up on a lot of adventure series is the key here, and catching up on a lot of here it is right here, Real Millennium Group on Twitch, and of course right here if you happen to be watching this live or on my channel BJ Weiler Twitch. There it is, BJ Weiler. So be sure to follow us and check us all out on all our social media and streaming sites and all that good stuff here. Kittens Live, of course. Check us out at Twitch Kittens, and check out the Discord. If you follow my Discord link, I got a new command in here. Kittens. Hopefully it works. Didn't work. Oh, that's right. I'm on channel BJ Weller. Didn't work there, so I'm gonna have to make sure I can do that. So let's do this then. Let's go over here. We'll check out kittens. Check out this invite. This link essentially is an invite to our Kittens Live Discord server. Oh, you know what? I'm doing it wrong. It's not kittens, it's kitten. Single. This should work now. There we go. Yeah. Make sure I put in the right command, even though I got it sitting right here in front of my face. But there you go. And click that link in Discord, and which I will also have in the highlights of this right here on Twitch, and in the description on YouTube as well. Click that link. That's an invite to our the Kittens Live Discord channel, where you can chat along with all of us streamers and all the devs who are a member of our community too. And you might be able to get some free game keys out of the deal too by being active in the community as well. So that's another thing I've got to stream this week. A lot of streaming to do with some new games I got, thanks to some of the devs who are a member of Kittens Live. Got some stream keys, so I definitely want to showcase their games since they are kind enough to provide them for me for streaming. So we'll be doing that throughout this week as well. So in the meantime, this is BJ Wallace saying thanks for watching this episode of Stronghold Kingdoms Island Warfare. Be sure to stay tuned all day today, Monday, January 23rd, 2017, to channel BJ Weiler and channel Real Millennium Group here on Twitch for as much streaming as we can get in today, and pretty much throughout the week as well. So stay tuned to Twitter, and of course the Discord channel, which I also announce when I'm going live as well. So there's our Twitter handles. Follow us there. I chat out whenever I'm going live, if I remember. For the most part, I've been pretty good with that whenever I'm going live with the stream and the game and stuff. So until next time, I will see you in game.